Hey, you are along for the ride with the Mad Dog and Cole. What's that smell, Farrell?
Flat track bikes don't like to jump.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
Man, thank you so much for those inspiring words, Mr. Evil Knievel. May you rest in peace. May we all take time to live in the sunlight.
And of course, got to thank the troops and the first responders and all the brave men and women of this country that allow us to do this podcast and let us have fun on the weekends.
Yep. Props and respect to all of you. We appreciate you greatly here at Along for the Ride. And speaking of appreciating people, we are going to say a big thank you to our partners, Kicker Performance Audio. Find them online at kicker.com and get any of your automotive, truck, car, boat, motorcycle, off-road, on-road, and even personal audio needs. Kicker Performance Audio, kicker.com. And of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Check them out. They've got an incredible assortment of sizes, varieties, frame shapes, lens colors, safety lens, dark smoke, polarized, amber, whatever you need. They're durable and they float. Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Of course, the Premix podcast, our man Cole, behind the lens, getting all those super shots of your desert rig. If you're out at a desert race, which you won't be this weekend, we'll get into that. Find Cole. He's the one in the pre-runner Ranger with the paint falling off and the cool camera. Find him and hit him up, say, hey, I need some shots of my shit. Of course, Kelsey Morrell Film getting all our stuff on YouTube for us. Man, what a job it is, because we're kind of screw ups. So to get all this matched up and possibly mashed up, I don't know, and get it ready to go on YouTube. Man, what a talented kid. You can find her at Kelsey Morrell Film. I screwed up a minute ago. Find Cole at the Premix Podcast on Instagram. That is at ThePremixPodcast on Instagram. Send him a message. Say, hey, I want you to get some shots for me.
Absolutely. I promise I won't bite. I'll make you a price you can't refuse.
There you go. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
You come to me on the day of the desert race and you want photography? I'm in.
The Godfather got you.
Please pause for a coffee break.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm about a quart low on coffee today.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just my little coffee maker usually travels with me is not traveling in my crate. And for those of you who are along for the riders, you are along for the ride with me in, well, I was going to say beautiful, but in Hobbs, New Mexico. So yeah, it's an interesting place. We're in the southeast corner of New Mexico, about 70 miles southeast of Carlsbad, which they have a tunnel there or something I heard about. And about 60 miles south of the fatherland, Roswell.
Many of our listeners are probably from there.
Yeah. And some of the people we've met. like David from SpaceX.
Shout out to David from SpaceX.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, keep kicking ass. Um, yeah, man. So we're here in Hobbs for Kicker AMA Arenacross Championship Series. Um, really looking forward to it. Leah County Event Center, little tiny arena. Um, man, I got in today. I actually flew in last night, and since we're talking about along for the ride, and uh, picture, if you will, a world where hell actually was freezing over as I was standing outside at Las Vegas Airport yesterday afternoon and it began to snow.
Imagine if you will for a moment, especially if you're a non-religious listener. This might be God's sign, you know. Other places would light on fire, but Sin City freezing over. That's got to be something.
There's something there, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know how you got on a plane with this happening, but I mean, I know how you physically got on the plane. I saw the de-icing video and everything, but
Huevos Grande, bro.
yeah, and I hope you had grande coffee and everything.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy. Like I had never would have thought. For those of you who are new, um, I'm in Lake Havasu, and I consider Vegas my home airport because I can get direct flights to just about every armpit I go to. Um, so it's 2.5 hour drive, but it's not a bad drive. It's all desert, and I'm a desert dog. So, um, yeah, I never would have thought that I would see snow pellets coming out of the sky in Vegas. For one, for two, I never thought that after we boarded, my flight would be delayed because they had to put de-icer on the plane in Las Vegas.
I'm glad they even had it. I mean, maybe it's an FAA rule to have it on the ground at all times, but good.
I'm guessing it must, there's got to be some kind of rule to it or law, but I mean, how much confidence do you really have in someone from Vegas even getting it on right?
Surprised that truck even drove out to your
Yeah.
plane, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure the
really,
batteries were dead.
they probably haven't used it in, forever, but they were busy yesterday, man. Um, so yeah, it was a little bit bumpy coming out, but nothing unusual for Vegas. Usually we're a little bumpy. Pretty decent flight the rest of the way. Um, landed. I flew into Midland, Odessa Airport,
Okay.
which is in Midland, Texas.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's like an hour and 30 minutes roughly from Hobbs. Um, the reason I flew in there was one, I could fly Southwest in there. But two, the cost of round trip tickets into Hobbs was unbelievably dumb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just stupid. I mean, I've flown in here a couple of times when I was in Bend, Oregon, and man, it was cheaper to fly here than it was Amarillo or Oklahoma. And now from Vegas to Hobbs is like it was just crazy, man.
Well, that's
Um,
disappointing. And I'm
yes,
sure it's not close. I don't know anything about New Mexico. I assume Albuquerque's not down the street.
no, it's a healthy like whatever 4 hours or something.
Oh, yeah. So it was a way better decision to
5 hours.
go.
Yeah, Amarillo or Lubbock actually would have been my second choice at about an hour 45, hour 50. But I've flown into Lubbock, so I said, well, I'll fly into Midland and check it out. It's great because I talked to several of the Arenacross people today and some of the media guys, and they flew in to Midland or to Hobbs here, and there was no rental cars.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's not a very big town. It is an oil town. So everything is a 1422 store. That's where it's twice as expensive as 7-Eleven.
Oh,
Um,
I, that caught me off guard.
yeah, that's what it's about. So yeah, man. Um, I was grateful that once again I had the budget fast. What do they call it? Fast break, I think. Set up. Have myself a nice little compact car, Kia Soul or similar reserved. Um, Once again, quote unquote, I got an upgrade because they didn't have the compact. And I ended up with a Toyota Camry, I believe, um, 70,000 miles and not one straight panel on it.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I grew up in a Camry family, so that makes me a little sad to hear.
but it runs good. So,
I mean, it's a Camry. It should.
yeah. And it's got like a 8-speed transmission. You put it in sport mode. I had the opportunity. I came across basically Southwest Texas, part of Southwest Texas, Midwest Texas, whatever, in the dark on county highways. So it was like, yeah, I got the opportunity to check out the sport mode um, and manual shift mode. So that was kind of fun. Um, and all in all, it's a oil town car with 70,000 miles on it. So what do you expect? But yeah, man. So got here last night and doing that glorious road trip thing, where everybody thinks you eat like kings and stuff. I had a BLT to go from Denny's down the street because it was close and I got here late. So,
I mean, that beats
uh,
a gas station BLT.
yeah, for sure. For sure. I didn't want to live with that this morning. So, oh no.
Planning
Um,
ahead. Well done.
yeah. So, um, yeah, man, dude, it was other than that, the flight was all right. It was just crazy windy yesterday coming across the desert to Vegas and then just that unbelievably, cold for Las Vegas even in February. So, uh got here monstrously windy last night, eased up a little bit today and in the mid 50s. So definitely t-shirt weather was nice. Um, Thank you to Kicker for getting me here and putting me to work. And, we are here for the Kicker AMA Arenacross Championship Series. Tomorrow, racing, I think practice starts at 11 or 11:30. Um, and if you're not familiar with the Kicker AMA Arenacross Championship format for pro days, they run the pros on Friday only. Um, we're at now race 9 technically, but the 7th one in 2023 for this series. So after tomorrow, I believe we have 5 left. So we'll be hitting the road for that stuff, and it just yeah, man, just adventure after adventure after adventure. Um, Watching the crew try to put the finish arch up with a well oversized front end loader with forks on it um, was a whole nother adventure also. So, you know,
Watching from a safe distance.
yeah. I've got a great spot that I set up here in Hobbs. It's uh right on the fan floor, and they have these like in the corners, they have these little cutout sections that are roughly about 10 by 14 or 22, I mean, and my 10 by 20 fits absolutely perfect in that section. So I'll have great viewing of the races. Uh,
Nice.
Man, yeah, just really blessed, feeling it today, for sure. You know, got things set up. Pretty happy with how things went today, and you know, I'm anticipating it'll be a sold out crowd. I know the Kicker Monster Truck Nationals were here 2 weeks ago, and while I was in Denver, and they played to a sold out crowd, I think 2 nights in a row. So
Oh, fantastic.
yeah, it's a good motorsports um, mindset around here. So
Yeah, and obviously we talked before. It's not nearly the same area, but Gallup had such a great turnout for Arenacross. So let's hope the other side of the state does the same thing.
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. And you know, we're just man, just making plans and kicking ass, and we're working on getting some for those of you who are like, where are the guests? We're working on it. We had a very special guest lined up for this show last minute due to travel issues, weather created. Um Unfortunately, couldn't happen, but it will happen hopefully the next show or the show after that. And we got some goodies coming up. Um, really super excited. So, you know, it's just cool. So I don't know. Have we talked since your race?
No, we have not.
Well, we need at this point. I'm going to hand literally the mic over to you because, by the way, Cole has a new mic and soundboard set up,
Yes, I do.
and
We're
many.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and many thanks, I believe, are in order to Sir Jackie.
Sir Jackie, aka Inglewood Jack. He's the one that helped start Premix Podcast. And I was sitting around the other day and I was like, you know who has equipment and doesn't have a podcast? My one and only sibling. So thank you, Jack, for helping me out and digging everything out, and me coming in like a firestorm after the Ash Wednesday service last night and getting the crash course on how everything worked. So obviously you can't hear this in live timing, but I'm hoping that when this comes out, hopefully tomorrow, that it sounds quite a bit better than the equipment we were working with. So
Yeah,
positivity over here.
sounds great. Nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Very rare. Very rare.
Very rare. For those of you listening, since it's not on YouTube yet, he's wearing that limited edition Mad Dog Media Marketing shirt. Um, Not many of those left, and you can not buy them.
Nope. I just like wearing them too when I'm walking my dog because she kind of looks like your logo. So people
Yeah,
probably think that I'm just obsessed so much with my dog that I wear a t-shirt of her.
I think your dog halfway looks like one of those things, you know, that if you add water to them, they go
Oh, a Chi-Chi
psycho.
or a oh,
The gremlin.
oh, damn it, what are those things called? Goblin, gremlin, gremlins. Yeah, gremlin movie.
Gremlins,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, kind of
yeah.
looks like that. Kind of freaks me out a little bit every time I see a
She
Snapchat of her.
she looks like if you bought a German Shepherd off Wish. You know.
That's awesome. Well, you know, we have I have a resident dog right now too at home, and I actually miss a little bugger.
Oh,
Um, we have a little my grandpuppy, little teacup Yorkie, and that's my tiny mite's dog, and she's decided to snowbird a bit, spend a little time down in the Southwest with us,
good
which is
call.
great, which is absolutely great. She does our website, so we're gonna start working on that next week also, and getting it polished and getting some of the stuff cleaned up. Um, but yeah, man, it just like hell yeah, good times. So yeah, man, we're here. The track is red there. Oh, we're going to Cole, AMA District 38. Do
AMA
you want to
District.
do you want to rant about all the desert racing cancellations first? Do you want to get that out of the way, or do you
Yeah,
want
I
to
do.
harbor it?
Let's get fired up here because I have nothing to lose. Um, so let's get right into it.
Do it.
as of this recording, it is February 23rd, and there was supposed to be 2 desert races this weekend, both from Best in the Desert and Mojave Off-Road Enthusiasts, and both canceled due to weather. Now, racing in the weather allegedly is not the problem. We have 2 different explanations from 2 different organizations, and I'm not buying either of them. So Mojave Off-Road Racing, which is our more grassroots series here in Barstow and Lucerne, they canceled yesterday due to the fact that they believe that, and it may be true, but the El Cajon Pass here in Southern California might be closed due to snow. Okay. And then they said, well, 60% of our entrants are from down in Southern Western California, and they'll have to use the pass. Well, guess what? There's more than one way to get to Barstow from here in Southern California, okay? There's the 14. You have the pass over in Old Woman Springs Road. You could go up and around 29 Palms. If you were feeling real froggy, you could go up and around the 40. If you're spending this much money to go desert racing, like, you're committed. And so they didn't cancel the race, which I almost think at this point would have been better if they would have done it earlier. They moved the date 1 week. And man, if you look at their comments, people are not happy.
Yeah, they were getting
now
ripped.
5 races a year, which I could get on a whole tangent about that. But now you're down to 5 races a year. And a lot of your guys are construction guys, hardworking people, et cetera, et cetera. When you post that schedule, people are depending on the races running on those dates or being canceled. But when you cancel a race with 3 days to go, and there's already people out there with thousands of dollars of fuel in their rigs and food spot, and their PTO's taken or their time off is set up, not a great move. Sorry, but you guys are going to lose more racers by scheduling it 1 weekend back, because now people can't go, compared to if you're either to 1 race this weekend and the people are smart. They're desert racers. They're smart enough to figure out how to navigate around 1 closed road. Or if you just canceled the round altogether. But with that being said, you would have had to done it quite a bit earlier so people aren't so committed. So I think it's a learning experience for the Jeffers family, but yeah, not great. And then in the same fashion, Best in the Desert, who, sorry, they're not doing too well PR-wise right now with the kids running it, did the same thing with the Cal City race. And
yeah, they're having a tough go right now.
The first comment I saw when they canceled, same thing, going to cancel it with 3 days out when people have already been pre-running and everybody's already there. Their first comment on there said, nope, you guys were looking for an excuse to pull the plug and you found the first one you saw. So yeah, I'm a little fired up about that. I mean, I personally am not racing, but I had plans to go out there for photography reasons and pitting reasons. And then you pull the plug a week ahead. Well, now I can't go racing next weekend because I even have, prior plans the following week to work. So a real bummer. I hope it's a lesson learned for these organizations. I know it's easy to tackle on people in today's social media society, but yeah, that was not great from either of those organizations. So, however, I would like to commemorate and thank District 37 AMA for still racing this weekend, because they're having a round out in Red Mountain, which is not far from Cal City, not far from Barstow, but I know people are going to show up in droves. And heck, I even think I would put money down to say that some of these truck guys who are going to go race this weekend and were committed, they might dust off the old Husqvarna and pull out their AMA card and maybe give it a go, because they're ready to rip. So I hope the District 37 has quite a big turnout this weekend.
Yeah, and that's, there's it's a tough deal, man, when who knows what the real story is in either situation. I have my questions about, obviously, if Cajon's closed, it's closed. But, when I was working based out of Southern California, I never took Cajon, no matter which way I was going. If I was going east, I never took Cajon anyways because it sucks.
Yep. Yep. It sucks
And
at all times of the day, every day of the week.
yeah, and from the interchange, uh, down at the what 215
Mm-hmm. 15,
to
215. Uh-huh.
yeah, from there to like Yermo, nobody knows how to drive.
No.
It's like there's an alien force that sucks your brain out the minute you hit that zone. No matter which way you're going, whether you're going Yermo the other way. So I just avoided it at all costs, no matter what. And there is ways to get around. But I mean, time will tell,
No.
right? If every access to the Barstow area gets 9 inches of snow tonight,
Then sure,
yeah, or
I'll write you a
tomorrow,
handwritten apology.
yep, yeah, we'll definitely retract and eat crow on the next show, um, or we'll just forget about it,
And move
and
on.
go, oh well, is what it is. So yeah, all right, now let's get on to your D38 race last weekend because I was off last weekend. So I actually worked on my boat and getting the Kicker Marine audio in my boat. I made some steps on that, trying to get ready for Desert Storm coming up. Um, but yeah, man, I I was super excited for you guys to get going on this because if if this is your first time listening to the show, um, Cole Crew Chiefs, young Jake Young, um, he's the bike chief for him, and in the first, they're making a run at the championship this year. First race out, um, huge lead at the end of lap one, and scattered a clutch in the dune section in lap two. So it was like a real nut crusher. And so I was excited for these guys to get back on the horse. And Cole, take it from there.
Yeah, it was very exciting that we didn't have to wait at a month or 6 weeks for the next round like you would with some organizations. And like we talked last episode, I wasn't even sure that I could go. So the fact that I was able to pull out some tricks and borrow some favors and everything to get to the racing, that was exciting in itself. And like I said, I wasn't sure I could go, so it's almost like finding out you're going to Disneyland the day of. It's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
So that was exciting in itself. But I was the second person on pit road there, trying to pick out my spot. One guy was all the way up towards the finish line, and I said, well, I don't want to be there because I don't want to be by the officials, and I don't want to be by the AMA, and I don't want peering eyeballs. So I went to the exact opposite end of the pit road, right where it ended, so we could have nice clean air. But once again, Jake did the bomb run, I think literally one time, and came in on bomb practice. And once again, if you're a first listener, they let you practice the first mile of desert racing for safety reasons. So Jake, and they call it the bomb run. So Jake practiced the bomb one time, comes into the pits, and we're like, uh-oh, what's wrong? And he said, oh, nothing. I found my line. I'm done. I'm good. I don't want to waste my energy. And I'm like, dude, my man, that's exactly what I would have done right there. I'd have been the slowest guy in practice. I would have picked one line and as a creature of habit and said, okay, this is my line. Let's go kick it.
Nice.
So we got some good video of Jake off the start, and luckily his electric start fired quick, and he squirreled all the way right, squirreled all the way left, almost took out 30 people with him. I'm kidding, Jake. But he did get a little squirrely off the line, and he was able on his WR250 to pull away from those guys. So, I mean, that's just the golden rule in desert racing. If you can get out in clean air, you got it going on Bossa Nova. You're going to control the pace of your line.
Hell yeah.
So, I'm sitting in the pits. I can't see anything besides when he's in and out, but we had two fantastic pits. Jake was extremely calm the whole time. We refilled his Camelback and fueled him fully up on both pit stops. It ended up being about a 35-mile loop that they ran 3 times. So right under 100 miles for this, which is good. It's I think he actually does quite a bit better the longer the races are. I think he's in good enough fitness form to beat the guys on attrition alone, let alone the fact that he is so quick. But yeah, I mean, real no drama. And once again, this happened at the end of last year, but the leader caught him with like a mile to go. And apparently they played a cat and mouse game because the leader thought something to do with he thought Jake was in his class, so he didn't want to pass Jake, but then figured out he wasn't in his class. And so then they did this weird like staggered finish. And so Jake got lapped with 1 to go. So unfortunately he didn't get to do 4 laps, but he did get to do 3 laps coming back from the third line. So if you're doing the math at home, Jake was absolutely hauling ass. But once again, it's nice to get the finish stamped like okay, like
Yeah.
everybody gets a checkered flag. We got through mechanicals, he's not hurt, everything's good. But it's also like you're fired up to pit one more time, and you're excited for at least another hour to go kick it in the desert, right? So yeah, Jake had a non-dramatic finish. And side note, this guy was parked next to me in the morning, and he had a cool beta 430 RR, which nobody at the time of this recording, 2023, nobody out here has betas. All right, maybe that'll change someday. But he's sitting on his tailgate. I say, hey, good morning. And he had a really nice 4Runner, chit-chatting. I go, hey, man, do you have anybody to pit for you? He goes, no. I go, well, you do now. He said, are you serious? And I was, well, hang on. Well, what class are you? He said, I'm vet novice. I said, yeah, you're not against our guy. Absolutely, I'll pit for you. So shout out to Sean, our new boy on the 203V beta. Yeah, man, he did awesome. And he kind of cracked me up because I was explaining how our first round went, and we were kind of shooting the breeze about how everything went. And he goes, oh, your guy got a DNF. Well, I did too. Well, what happened? He said, well, I just got stuck in the dust about 10 miles in, and I knocked myself out. I'm like, wow. He goes, yep. So I bought a new helmet, and here I am. And I'm like, cool, man, good for you. And then I turn around, walk away, and I thought about it. I'm like, so you knocked yourself out at the first round. You were by yourself, got picked up by the medics, and here you are 3 weeks later with a brand new helmet, and you're still out here by yourself?
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, more power to you, but not what I would do per se.
Right.
But to wrap it all up, yeah, Jake got as the time of this recording, an unofficial first place, District 38. Can we do something about scoring?
Oh my God.
The fact we had to get the last rounds DNF officially stamped in the day before the next race. I mean, I realize it's different clubs and everything, but come on, guys, we're an AMA sanctioned event and you pay for it. So let's try to get these results out a little faster, would you?
Yeah, I want to go back to that after we get done talking about your race, but I do want to commend you. One, I want to thank you for keeping me updated.
Oh,
because, being the old crew chief and before that being the racer, dude, I mean, it means a lot to me. I feel like I'm involved, like I'm part of the team, all I can do is cheer you on via text, but
you are part of the team. You're just not there.
Well, thank you. But keeping me in the loop, it was awesome. And the other thing is, I really want to commend you guys on the work that you've done on your pit stops, because I know that was a big issue. We had probably half an episode discussion about slow pit stops and the frustrations involved. And I'm really proud of you for jumping up and taking the reins and saying, we got to fix this, and doing what should be done and taking control of the team. That's what your job is. So great job there, Cole.
Yeah. Thank you.
The other thing is, I mean, you guys went from, what was it? 1:40 pit stop?
Yeah. Oh yeah. About 1:15 or so. Yep.
Yeah. 5 minutes might as well be.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
I was not
But
happy about the length of that
you
stop.
did like what this last race you pulled
About
off a
34 seconds. Yeah, we had him in and out, and that's without a dry
34
break.
and a
So,
39 or something.
yep.
And
We
that's
were
without a dry break.
without a dry break. So
Yeah.
that's a $500 investment. We're just not sure on this 15-year-old bike if it's worth making. So
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
yeah,
not.
It's not. Sorry, Jake. It's not worth it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's I have some suggestions for you on the fuel can that will assist you, and we'll get to that off the air,
absolutely.
because if I ever do a stock side by side desert race again, like I did at Vegas to Reno, I'm going to implement those on my fuel cans. So
I like
I'm
it.
not giving that to everyone,
Absolutely not.
but it's been bugging me for what's it been, a year and a half since Vegas to Reno,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm
Yep.
still working on solutions. Like, it still bugs me. So, that's somebody
Striving for excellence. No one can fault you for that,
Well, and you want to be better than everybody else. You want to be faster, and we're blessed to win. You guys earned it, man. Quick pit stops. You guys got it together, and what a difference! I mean, just a few months has made from that 25-minute pit stop to 35 seconds. I mean, it's super impressive, and you guys obviously held it together because the rider had obviously 100% confidence in you by just, okay, get on and go.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'd like to think that he listens to this and listens to us talking about, maybe pace, but set your pace at an accelerated level, like maybe not your max ability, but an accelerated level. Like, don't coast,
Yeah.
And it sounds like he doesn't. So,
he definitely doesn't come in with his tongue in the spokes even after 100 miles. So it's not like he's treating it like a sprint race. And, he's certainly mature beyond his years as far as how he expels his energy and how he pushes. I find myself, when it comes to that stuff, I just shut up. I mean, I really don't. I think one of the first ones I told him, I go, okay, maybe we'll sprint the first one so you're clear and then cruise from there. But it's like, dude, he's done this 5 or 6 times now, and he already has kind of like the veteran vibe about him. So I'm like, okay,
right.
like, dude, like, I don't, like, you want to win it worse than I do, believe it or not. So and yes, Jake listens, and yeah, nothing I'm going to tell him is going to change the race when it comes to that. So,
Right. Well, he's very blessed to have someone like you who is racing wise far beyond your young age, and especially moto, all things moto.
Just Rain Man, that's all it is,
Yeah, man, for sure. I feel the same way. It's like brain damage is good for you in some ways, for sure. So, but dude, just serious kudos. I mean, even if the official results finally come in next year and he gets a second in class, still, you got that DNF monkey off your back.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's I mean, what a lifted weight off his shoulders. And I forgot to even mention this. It's not the longest story, but his clutches came in quick, and he basically ordered them right after the last round. Well, the clutch basket was toast too, and it came in the night before the race on UPS. And so it said it could be here at 9 p.m. And so he put the whole thing back together, and all of a sudden he had a floppy clutch that didn't work. Well, there's like a ball bearing on the inside of the clutches that fell down in the case that he was luckily able to dig out at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, God.
So that's just, I mean, I would love to have him on here to tell the story better than I can. But we already had a backup bike ready to go. We had a YZ250X, which is a badass motorcycle. I know
Yeah.
I know how you feel about Yamahas, but it's a YZ250 with a bigger tank, a kickstand, a wide ratio gearbox, and an 18-inch wheel out of the factory. So it was like, okay,
Nice.
like at least we had a steed ready to go in case couldn't get the old WR going. So that's just all part of racing, right? It's
Yeah.
following the UPS man through San Clemente to get your damn clutch basket because you got to go race in 10 hours.
Dude, when we were circle track racing, I changed a head gasket and a piston in the pits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. A head gasket's fathomable. The piston, no thanks.
It sucked.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
imagine it sucked.
but we finished that race, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I think you know, it's a big part of it. Like finishing it, it never gets old, right?
No.
The to finish first you must finish.
Amen.
And you know, I've worked with a lot of you know, driver training and rider training, and coaching, and always told them, you know, finish, just finish, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because once you learn how to finish, then you can learn how to improve your position.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
And when
if you
you're
go in trying to win, you're probably not going to finish.
no, that's absolutely true. I mean, it's one thing if you're just doing an exhibition race or whatever, but I mean, Jake's literally chasing points. So to start off
Yeah.
with a DNF, what a kick in the nuts. But we're
Yes.
back, baby.
Yeah, and I think the season where we took rookie of the year in sportsman, and he was the oldest rookie of the year ever at Spanaway Speedway. Um, I think we finished every race.
Wow.
And I can't that no, it was a year before I had to do piston and head gasket, but that year I had to straighten the frame um, at the track.
Probably not
So
even legal. It's probably frame modification.
no, I didn't modify. I just put it back how it was when it started, close to
Totally.
how it was when it started. But yeah, no, that's a whole nother story. But dude, yeah, I am so happy for you guys. And what a stomp. I mean, holy hell, what a foot stomp to come back from a DNF and podium.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. He's kind of getting the reputation of it's like you either win or you wreck, you know. So he's kind of taking the James Stewart route. So I would like to win more though between winning and wrecking.
Yeah, yeah, and that's, you know, I went through that. Um and it eventually cost me, you know, a successful road career because that it costs a lot of money to fix direct bikes.
Yeah.
And you know, there's the balance scale there shouldn't be 50-50.
No,
Um,
absolutely not.
and you know, it was probably close to that. So you know, it's all good. It wouldn't be where I am now without it. So, you know, everything's a life experience. But dude, I'm so stoked that you guys came back and just like we are here. You know,
Yeah, we
um,
had a good set of we had literally the same guys helping pit from the round before. So it was awesome. Everybody already knew their job and like everybody already knew what they're good at. So it couldn't
right,
have been better. And now what's so crazy is it's a 12 round season, which doesn't sound like a lot. It really doesn't. But keep in mind they don't race from May to like September. So then
right,
all the other rounds have to get crammed in when you can be in the desert. So Jake
yeah,
already has a race the first weekend of March. So he gets this weekend off and then he's back out there.
nice,
Yeah.
very cool,
And I
very
won't
cool.
be there. So Jake,
Why not?
I will be at the Record Reset in Yuma, Arizona, Dome Valley
Oh,
Raceway.
yeah. Fill us in on that again. Give us another pump on that.
Yeah, so it's from my research, looks like there's going to be 5 different UTV classes at the world famous Dome Valley Raceway in Dome Valley, Arizona, which is right outside Yuma. Looks like there's going to be an unlimited class, which I'm looking forward to very much so, because you can run unlimited fuel, which means nitromethane. There's no rule on wheelbase, no rule on motors, just kind of has to sort of look like a side by side. And then you have basically everything's broken down by turbo size after that. So there's a 55 mil, 50 mil, 40 mil, 35 mil class. So they're going to do test and tune on Friday. I will arrive on Saturday. Racing will start at 9 a.m. on Saturday and will conclude on Sunday at 1 p.m. So if drag racing interests you, if side-by-sides interest you, if whatever, it's racing, Dome Valley Raceway, the first weekend of March for the Record Reset.
Yeah, and catch our boy Cole on the mic.
I will be on the mic.
The announcer and MC host of the event. And I'm super excited that you're getting back on the mic, and not in front of the Zoom camera, you're actually getting on the mic out in public.
Well, you know why I'm doing it, right? It's because we're going to have audio presented by Kicker Performance
Audio. Yes. Yeah, official audio of the Record Reset.
They said, come on out. I said, absolutely not. They said, Kicker's doing audio. I said, I'll see you in the morning.
Nice. Great shout out. Good job.
Hey, thanks.
So, yeah, man. So that's pretty rad. I wish I was off that weekend because I'd really like to catch it, but that's next weekend.
Next week. March is next weekend.
Oof. Yeah, I'll be in Amarillo, Texas for the Kicker AMA Arenacross Championship Series round 10, I guess, something like that.
Maybe double digits. The circus rolls on.
Yeah, so we did 6 weeks straight. I had a weekend off, and now we're back into 6 weeks straight, which I will do 5 of those weeks, and then I will switch to American Flat Track at Firebird Raceway during Arizona Bike Week, and that will be the Arizona Super TT. It'll be interesting. You said flat track bikes don't like to jump. I think flat track riders don't like to jump, but then you get guys that are strong on moto, like JD Beach and like the clip you sent me this afternoon. He was all over it, dude.
Oh yeah, that dude's good at everything he touches.
It's crazy. I would love to get him on the show sometime.
I would be too starstruck. I would have to turn around.
He'd probably do it.
Oh, I think he would. Yeah, he's rad. Well, I should rephrase that. Flat track bikes like to jump. I don't think they necessarily like to land.
Yeah. All 4 inches or 3 inches of suspension travel. That race is going to be pretty rad though for the super singles or singles. The Parts Unlimited AFT Parts Unlimited singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio. And there's going to be a huge class there because I would imagine there's a fair amount of people that maybe won't run the series that will come out and try, that run Paris and stuff like that will come out and try and take home a trophy.
I could see that for sure. Yeah.
Or a check, or whatever, one of those big checks.
Or a big bruise.
Put it in the, So should be pretty cool. So now I want to just touch on results, official results, because, your race wasn't in Arizona, so it shouldn't have taken 6 months to get official results. But we're seeing this more and more for more and more series, and come on, guys.
Yeah,
What?
it's like our entry fees and everything and the rules and regulations are going up and technology is getting better and our time to have official results is getting slower and slower and slower. It's getting worse.
Yeah, even a lot of the stuff from KOA, King of the Hammers, is they don't have official results posted yet.
That's so crazy. And that's a USAC sanctioned event.
Yeah. And I do not understand that. I don't understand how an AMA sanctioned event can be a month or 3 weeks or even 2 weeks
Yeah.
without certifying the results. There's no excuse. Really, in my mind, I'm 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 flabbergasted. I mean, I don't get it. It's
Yeah, and I
like,
and I think you're doing a disservice to the writers who are spending their money doing this, just in the fact that, how do I word this? It would be better to get your official results out sooner and make changes if need be than to live in this PC scared of getting yelled at society where you're checking every little nook and cranny for any sort of whatever before you put out results 3 weeks later. Like,
for sure. And the bottom line, I don't know what D38's like, but the bottom line is, after, as a general rule, most race series that I've ever been involved with, as a general rule, after the results, the finish and the results, which are in most cases pretty quickly, there is usually a window, 48 hours, 72 hours, where if you have a problem, you can protest
yeah,
that.
it's your protest time. Yeah, the protest
Right,
window. Yeah.
right. So why waste a bunch of time? If you have the results, post the results, mark them official, and then open the window. And if there is a problem, if somebody has a problem, then it's up to them to protest it during the appropriate time. But if you wait 2 weeks to certify the results and you say these are our official results, you're already into the next race. In some cases, you're 2 races down the road and opening the door for whatever 2 days or 3 days for someone to protest still,
Mm-hmm.
which then takes a week usually.
Yeah, you're making a way worse scenario for yourself than you think you are.
Absolutely. And as much as I am no longer a big fan of NASCAR, they they results are results, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've read all kinds of, I did not watch the Daytona 500. I actually meant to and got distracted. Um, but there's a lot of mixed emotions about the finish of the Daytona 500. Um, okay, the racers that had a problem with it have the opportunity to protest. I mean, the race
Absolutely.
is over. These are the results. You don't like it? File a complaint.
Like what it makes me feel like is like imagine you go to a baseball game and then the ninth inning ends and you go, well, everybody go home. Well, who won? Well, we think it looked like the Angels won, but we'll let you know in 3 weeks. We will
Yeah,
officially stamp like why do we even have transponders and people doing live scoring and live timing if we're just going to go, I don't know, and then pack up the trailers and go see you at the next one?
exactly. Exactly. I mean, even Supercross pretty much certifies their results instantaneously.
Absolutely. And those hardly get changed. But yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, they occasionally get changed by a penalty or
Yep.
something like
Yep.
that. Um, and I've seen that with Arenacross. Um, we basically certify the results right away.
Yeah.
And then, there's there's times where things have been under review or a certain person's actions have been under review, and uh, at that point, changes could be made where, somebody in the top 10 could get DQ'd
Mm-hmm.
for actions on the track or whatever, but they certify it like, boom, we have it, we're done.
Yep. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Fired up.
Yeah, me too. All right, man. So, I think we're in agreement as far as certifying the results. Um, a lot of series are just being a bunch of freaking wussies. Suck it up, certify it. If you got to take a punch in the mouth, take a punch in the mouth. Quit being babies. It is what it is, right?
Get the results out.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Um, and quit canceling because the roads are bad. Quit canceling desert races
Because
because the
one road is
roads are
bad.
bad. One road. Yeah. Yeah. And I know I was like, I saw people going, oh, well, you know, you can't get there. I'm like, well, if you really wanted to race, you could hop on like from your area. What is it? 90, 60, 10, Rice Road,
Yeah.
95,
To the 40.
40,
Yeah.
hang a left on the 40 and hour and 40 minutes, you're in Barstow.
Or go up the 14, go through Antelope Valley, and then you're
Yeah.
in the desert.
Yeah. So, lots of options there. And maybe they'll take this. Obviously, none of those people are going to listen to us because they don't like us. I don't know if they don't like us, but they're probably
They
not going to
might, well,
listen
they
to
don't,
us.
they not, might not, we already, have issues, but that's fine.
Right.
We're adults.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, you know what? It's all good. So, other than that, man, we got some exciting stuff coming down the pipe that I'm working on. And yeah, dude, I think we're at the sponsor plugs.
Works for me.
All right. We want to be sure and thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio at kicker.com, for all your 12-volt audio needs and your personal audio needs. Check them out, kicker.com. Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Man, they've got tons of styles, tons of colors. Get on there, find what you want, and get them ordered. Tommy and his gang have got them dialed. They're tough. You can get them in OSHA approved safety lenses, even polarized, mirrored, all kinds of different styles. Check them out, bombereyewear.com. Of course, our man Cole over at the Premix Podcast on Instagram. Find him on Instagram at the Premix Podcast for your desert racing picture needs, photo needs, media needs. Check him out at the Premix Podcast on Instagram and send him a message, line him out, or send him a message, book him to do your off-road event or carnival, or send him a message and just tell him, I like the podcast.
You could even say it sucks. Just send me a message. I work from home all day. I'm lonely.
Heck yeah. And of course, Kelsey Morel Film at Kelsey Morel Film on Instagram, doing all our video editing, helping me with the shorts. If you're a fan of our show or you're a follower and you saw the most recent one, Kelsey put that together, and it was hilarious. It's got over over 1,500 views on the reel on Insta, which is pretty cool. So, and it was fun. So,
and it was real life.
And it was real. Yeah, this is what we do. I mean, we are raw. We are unscripted and raw. And Cole does a great job of producing that. I am forever grateful to you, Cole. I'm so glad we're doing this, and it's so much fun. And we're just going to keep making content, in the words of the great, Jim Beaver,
The Podfather.
the Podfather. I freaking love that, dude.
I didn't make that up, but yeah.
That's awesome. We got to call him that.
To me, he's the Podfather.
Episode 115.
Yep.
Jim Beaver, the Podfather.
I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now I caught one of his episodes with BC Vaught on the
Rotation
flight
Motorsports.
out. Yeah, and that was a great show. So that's another one we're lining up to get on here. But anyway, with that, I think we are a wrap from Not So Beautiful and Kind of Smelly, Hobbs, New Mexico. Mad Dog out.